Have you ever imagined a forest where mushrooms grow as tall as castles? This story hides a great moral that you'll discover right at the end. In the distant Forest of Giant Canopies, the mushrooms were so enormous that they formed bridges of spores between their shining umbrellas. There lived Liro, a small beetle with golden wings who had never dared to fly beyond the first level of mushrooms. Every day, Liro watched the glowing heights and wondered what mysteries the tallest canopies might hide. "It's dangerous to go that high," whispered Bruma, a dewdrop who lived on his antenna and always feared the worst. But one morning, a rumble shook the forest. The giant canopies began to wither and lose their magical glow. A strange gray dust fell from above, covering everything in sadness. No one knew what caused it, and the forest grew darker. Liro, curious and brave, decided it was time to climb, even though Bruma jumped nervously from side to side on his antenna. With his golden wings shining, Liro began to ascend the slippery textures of the giant mushroom trunks. At each level, he found sad creatures, silk caterpillars without threads and butterflies unable to take flight. When he reached the second-to-last level, he saw a dense cloud trapped among the canopies, endlessly releasing the strange gray dust. "Who are you?" Liro asked firmly. From the cloud came a deep murmur. "I am Nubis, the forgotten cloud." Nubis explained that no one looked up anymore. No one remembered that even clouds need attention and company. For centuries, it had floated alone above the canopies, forgotten, until its sadness began to overflow in the form of dust. Liro understood that the problem wasn't the cloud but the indifference of all the forest inhabitants toward what they couldn't see. Determined to change that, Liro flew to the very top, right to the center of the great tallest canopy, where the ancient winds shined. There, he fully opened his wings for the first time, reflecting the golden light in all directions like a beacon. Bruma, overcoming her fear, jumped from Liro's antenna and formed a small rainbow around Nubis. The cloud, surprised by the gesture, began to glow softly, dissolving the gray dust and releasing drops of colors. From below, the creatures looked up, amazed by the dance of lights and the transformation of the sky above them. For the first time in centuries, everyone looked upward and remembered that even the invisible sometimes just needs to be seen. Nubis, now bright and joyful, promised never to drop sadness again, only rains of hope and colors. The forest regained its glow, and the giant canopies bloomed with new shapes and sparkles never seen before. Liro became a small hero, not because of his size, but for having the courage to look where no one else did. Bruma, once fearful, now traveled in dewdrops forming tiny rainbows in every corner of the forest. Every day, the inhabitants remembered to look up and appreciate the beauty they had forgotten to see. Thus, the giant canopies filled with life, the butterflies flew again, and the silk threads wove stronger bridges. But one day, the canopies began to emit a faint blue glow. No one understood why, until Liro went to investigate again. As he climbed once more, he discovered that the canopies were storing all the light and colors to share them during hard times. The forest had learned not to forget the high, the small, or the invisible. Everything had its moment to shine. Moral: sometimes what most needs help is right where we never look. See you very soon with more magical stories that will take you to incredible worlds.